Hey, it's Midnight Raven. Today I thought I'd do a little update video. It is March, so we are 3 months into the year, and boy, has it been a rough year for me at very least. Let me know how everybody else is in the comments. How's your year going? I know mine's a bit shit, and I'm probably going to put a downer on everybody, but I'd love to know how your year is going. Maybe fill me with some joy of some positivity that your life has been filled with. So it's been a rough time recently. I can't go into much detail. Some things have transpired with work, and due to confidentiality, I cannot disclose what it is. But it is putting me under a quite an amount of stress, worry, uneasiness, and just feeling sad. But I can't divulge too much. Hopefully, next month I can tell you a bit more once I'm allowed to. Um, Confidentiality means that I can't disclose to the public what's going on at my work currently. All I can tell you is that I'm a little bit sad about it, but I can't disclose anymore. So it has put a dampener on me this month. I was hoping March was going to be a bit more positive. I thought things were going to improve a bit more, but it's kind of, I wouldn't say got worse, but it's kind of stayed the same. So let's give you a bit of an update on just what's going on. So obviously I can't talk about work. Let's talk about my counselling. Mental health is obviously important, and I realised at Christmas I had some issues. So as you well know, I've been seeing a counsellor. Last week I didn't have a counselling session. Unfortunately, my counsellor was sick, which hit me at a pretty bad time. Stuff had happened at work. Obviously, I am currently still signed off sick, but stuff had transpired at work. I really was looking to talk to my counsellor 4 days after I found out, and then I couldn't talk to my counsellor because the appointment was cancelled, and it threw me for a loop. Because I really needed to talk to my counsellor, go through my thought process, um, and just realize what I'd been told by work, and I couldn't. And I've kind of been really down the last 2 weeks because I find talking to my counselor gives me a bit of reassurance, a bit of help. Um, it gives me someone to talk to that's impartial. And when the session was cancelled that morning, I was literally due to go see the counsellor that day in the afternoon, and it was cancelled that morning around 8 o'clock. And I was due to see him, I think it was 1, 2, or 3 that afternoon, can't remember. And when it was cancelled, I felt worried all day. I was stressed. You can see that it's kind of playing on my mind that I didn't get to speak to my counsellor, which is fine. I mean, people get sick, they get ill, but it threw me for a loop because I was used to having the counselling sessions every 2 weeks. Then something really bad happened. I needed my counsellor, and I couldn't talk to him because he was off sick. And it threw me for a loop. And I've had to keep this in my mind for the last 2 weeks, just playing the situation over and over in my head. I do have another counselling session. It is on Monday. And I'm going to tell him everything that has happened and divulge everything. And hopefully, I'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief. The situation itself, there's nothing I can do about. I still can't divulge what it is, though, but I can't do anything about it. This situation is effectively out of my control. I'm going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to work through things. There will be an outcome. I'm not too sure what that is. But currently, I'm like a roller coaster. I'm up and down with emotions. One minute I feel fine, the next minute I don't. Mental health isn't good. I wouldn't say I'm coping well, but I wouldn't say I'm not coping at all. I mean, look at me. I don't look that bad, do I? Hair needs a wash, though. It needs a wash. Rome wasn't built in a day, though. I've got to fix my outside and inside at the same time, and it takes a lot. So that's the counselling part. The vitamin deficiency. I am deficient in C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and zinc. I'm currently taking 20,000 units, as you well know, of vitamin D every Monday for 16 weeks. After taking the vitamin D supplement for 8 weeks of 20,000 units, I then have a blood test to see whether it's actually making a difference. It's halfway through the course at that point. They're then going to do more tests on my liver to find out what the issue is, if there's still an issue, or whether this influx of vitamin D has helped. I do get occasional pains right where my liver is, so there's something going on. Whether it's the vitamin deficiency or whether there is an alternative reason for my liver slightly playing up and having a little bit of an anomaly when they took my blood test, we're going to find out. I've took the vitamin D supplement for 5 weeks, so I have 3 weeks to go, and then I've got to book a blood test, have that done, and continue to take the vitamin D for the 16 weeks. At the end of the 16 weeks, I then start taking 1,000 units every day for 2 years. Sounds great, right? If they also find anything else out on the bloods, I will get a phone call telling me to come in and have a chat. And they're going to do a more in detailed look at my liver. So that is the vitamin deficiency. The Mirtazapine was the antidepressant they put me on. I took it for 5 days and felt fucking horrendous. I have never felt more debilitated in all my life. It was horrible. I had a headache. I felt sick. I felt so tired. I spent the first 2 days not even wanting to get up. I was fucking zoned out, is the word I call it. Zoned out. I was slurring. I felt disorientated. I felt the room was swaying, and I took myself off of it. I then spoke to my counsellor 3 days later and said, I'm not taking this. This is fucking horrendous. I can't live like this. Apparently, after taking it for the first week, things start to ease down, but I live alone. And to be disorientated, swaying, I live in a flat. I have immensely high stairs. If you've seen my stairwell, if I was to sway and fall down them, I'm going to hurt myself. The fact I also live in a flat, I just didn't feel safe taking them, being on my own. They were too potent. Whatever was the Mirtazapine was just too potent. I was like swaying. I thought the room was swaying. I felt underwater. It wasn't helping me. In fact, I felt fucking worse. And I took myself off of them. I then spoke to my counsellor 3 days later, and he said, "Right, if you're not happy on them, we'll take you off them. We'll look at an alternative." So we're going to look at an alternative when I next see my counsellor on Monday. I'm going to discuss other ways of doing stuff. So the insomnia. Now the insomnia, I've been speaking to my sister. Shout out to my younger sister. We'll call her Boney for this video because that is her nickname rather than her real name. Now she was telling me to have a herbal tablet to help me sleep. Instead of taking like drugs from the doctor, she's suggesting a herbal remedy that she uses to go to sleep, where you just naturally take it like an hour before bed and it lulls you into a natural sleep. It makes you a little bit drowsy and then you're like, nod off. She's taken it herself and she said it worked wonders. I've got it on my phone and it's not very expensive, but apparently it does work. It's very effective. It should be non-addictive as well. It should just help me for the foreseeable time, get my body into a pattern of sleeping, and then I should be able to just take myself off of it and my body would have readjusted its clock. I'm going to try that because it's a natural remedy to falling asleep. If it doesn't work, then I will seek help from my doctor again. So the counselling, the vitamin deficiency, the insomnia is quite bad. I'm going to sleep at 3-4 in the morning for about 3-4 hours. I mean, look at this. Panda situation going on. I know, I got panda eyes. Skin though, skin here. We were saying about my vitamin D deficiency. Today, not so bad. This side has improved. This side has not improved as much as I would like. The vitamin deficiency is causing a bit of a breakout on my skin and has for a while. am currently using a night cream. I know I'm old now, but we're using a night cream, and I just rub it in very slightly with my hand and under my chin, which also gets a bit dry, every night before bed, and it seems to work. It's rehydrated this side, but not so much this side. Now, what it could be is sleeping on the same side continuously. Do you ever find that you like sleep on one particular side over the other? Hmm. Me too. So it could be that I sleep on this side more than this side, and it's why it dries out slightly more due to the deficiency in my skin. It's drying it out. So I'm gonna try and see if I can not force myself, but when I lay down at night to start on the opposite side and see if that works. May or may not work. Who knows? But the chin part has always been a little bit dry. That's always been a thing because I do also have eczema, so that doesn't necessarily help. Um, so the mental health, the work thing, the counselling, the metazepam, the vitamin deficiency. I am feeling better. I've had a cold for 3 weeks. Can you tell? You could probably hear it in my nose and in my throat. And I do have an odd cough sometimes. I had a cold for like 3 weeks, and it is still in my throat. You can hear it in my nose. It'll go, apparently. It's just because I've got such a low immune system in a minute with the stress and the depression, which I now have apparently, and the deficiencies. It's taking a bit longer to get over stuff. So my diagnosis has changed. It was stress related to work, and now it has turned into mild depression, is what my new diagnosis is. And it doesn't surprise me, if I'm honest. The stress I had at work, the stress I'm going through now. Obviously, my nan died as well last month, so I also had the stress of dealing with that. Um, she died in January. Obviously, we buried her in February. Um, and I was dealing with that, and I'm still dealing with other bereavements. Obviously, I'm not going to go back into all that because it just churns up too many memories. For the year, I am hoping to be more positive. I'm hoping to get out there. As you've seen, I've done a couple of live streams recently while I've been out and about, getting my serotonin. We had chips in the park. Today's video is on the phone because I don't feel like going outside today. It's a bit grey. It's been spitting a rain. I've been out the last couple of days. I just fancy a cozy day in, just watching a bit of telly, chilling out, and just having a bit of quiet time. My son's gone to his girlfriend's for a bit. Um, he's here when he does his homeschooling during the day, and then he usually goes off to his girlfriend's in the evening, and then he goes home at night. So I thought I'd get a couple of hours to myself, watch a bit of telly, hang out, chill, you know, just have a bit of me time and make a video. Um yeah, if you're looking at my content, obviously I haven't put a lot of videos out. I'm sucking right now at trying to keep my YouTube channel afloat. I put the YouTube shorts out from the car show we went to. It's my son's birthday this weekend, and he went to a car show last weekend with me and his dad. If you'd like to donate to the channel, it is my son's birthday this weekend. My little boy will be 16 years old. Unbelievable that he is 16. He will be 16